One of the last areas where grizzly bears can roam freely is in Alaska. Today they are found only in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Washington, and the western provinces of Canada, all the way to Alaska. At one time, they were found from the Pacific coast to the eastern edge of the Great Plains of the United States. The grizzly bear is the largest carnivore or meat eater on the earth. It can be readily distinguished from other varieties of bear by the hump on its shoulders. Black bears lack this hump. Black bears may also be cinnamon, such as this one, brown, or even blonde. The polar bear can be easily identified from the grizzly and black bears by its white fur. The grizzly is unable to climb trees because it has unusually long and relatively straight, blunt claws. Black bears, however, can climb trees because their claws are shorter, more curved and pointed. The grizzly's eyesight is not very good, but they have a keen sense of hearing and smell. Male bears are called boars, and females, sows. After mating, boars and sows go their separate ways. Female grizzlies normally produce 2 cubs in late January or early February while they are in their dens. Single births do occur, and sometimes even triplets. Cubs weigh between 20 and 25 pounds by the time they emerge from their dens. Cubs stay close to their mother during their first season. Just as children, they like to frolic and play. Snowballs make good toys. When it's lunchtime, the sow is a loving, tender mother. The sow usually lies on her back when the cubs are nursed, but on occasion, she may allow them to suckle from a sitting position. During hot weather, a favorite place to cool off is in a creek. Cubs, however, prefer to roust about with sticks or one another. Cubs do take time out to eat. Even though grizzlies are considered flesh eaters, much of their diet consists of plants. They may feed on grass for days in one area before moving on. Roots are another important part of their diet. Rooted areas resemble a plowed field. Streams attract many bears during salmon runs. As they congregate at the falls, they usually ignore one another. On occasion, however, fights may erupt over fishing positions. Third summer cubs, almost the size of their mother, eagerly anticipate a fish meal. Once a fish is caught, a free-for-all takes place. Some cubs are not as greedy as others. Younger bears are not as successful at catching fish as some of the older ones. Snorkeling is common when a bear is standing among fish and is unable to see them. When cubs are about 2.5 years old, the sow abandons them. Without their mother's help, they must now rely on their own fishing abilities to get a meal. Tidbits left by bears become food for the ever-present gulls. Grizzlies will also dig out ground squirrels. They spend hours trying to uncover a rodent that will barely make a mouthful. When the squirrel is finally caught, the sow is unwilling to share it with her cub. Since it would take grizzlies too long to dig out as many squirrels as they would like, they have to be vegetarians most of the time. They might catch a moose calf on occasion, but it is rare. Most of the time, they must rely on carrion for meat. Cubs also enjoy eating meat. If any meat remains, it is covered with branches, rocks, dirt, and leaf matter. After it's buried, the sow may leave for a short period, but will return for another meal as long as any meat remains. A kill is abandoned only when bones remain. Grizzlies are notorious for overeating when they have a meal of meat. Oh, the agony of it all. Adults like their playtime also. Caribou horns make good back scratchers. In late summer and fall, grizzlies consume vast quantities of berries, chomping down fruit, leaves, and twigs. Bears stand on their hind legs to see better. Cubs stop playing to have a quick meal of berries, but their appetites are not as great as mothers', so it's back to wrestling again. The grizzly's range has shrunk in the last 150 years. Outside of Alaska, this large carnivore is almost non-existent in the United States. Probably less than 600 remain. Increasing pressure from development and human population is causing further decline in the grizzly bear range. Let's hope this interesting creature's survival will not be relegated only to zoos.